Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Revive the Witch. So, Path Not Taken is ending today. Today is the last day. And I would just like to make a quick review on Path Not Taken. Now, the first question you may be asking is, why am I making this video? Well, it's mainly to just analyze what's been used, who's been used, and how they've been used, stuff like that. And it does give us a good grasp on, the game's currently most popular characters, as in my opinion at the moment, Path Not Taken is technically like one of our end game game modes. And so in terms of being, I guess, quote unquote good at this game, taking a look at Path Not Taken is a pretty good example of finding out who's good. In any case, as you can see, my score is unfortunately minus 500 compared to the final 35k score, but that's not because I did bad. It's because if you take a look at the clear record here, I actually missed day 3. Now, funnily enough, I don't miss my dailies, and so it must have slipped out of my mind to do the third daily, and that was a magic day as well. But in any case, if you take a look at my clearance record for this Path Not Taken, for my weekly, daily 2, daily 4, daily 5, daily 6, I pretty much used basically the same 3 characters. Mostly the same 3 characters, and then I've mainly changed the third slot depending on what I needed. And then for the first day I used Catherine because she was tanky. And then for daily 1, that was the only time that I used my magic team, and for daily 3 I would have needed to use my magic team as well, which would most likely be similar to this because I do not have a Manami. Now let's take a look at what the people in the higher rankings have used. So for the weekly, I did get max score as well, but my clear time wasn't that quick compared to the others. But all in all, pretty much similar comp. But if you take a look at the first place, for example, obviously maxed out, right? And then when it comes to gearing up the characters, it's pretty much, at the pretty much pinnacle. Lots of attack from there. And then they used Metamorphosis at the start. I think they used Metamorphosis at the start to utilize her unique equipment, where it reduces the damage taken by all allies by a certain amount, which probably gave them free reign to use Dorin, perhaps. I'm not sure how that would work, but it did work for them. Probably an S2 buff from Dorin, and they didn't really care for survivability, I think, because maybe she was enough. Hey, look, it's only 10 seconds. I think a Dorin ungeared can survive at least 5 seconds of that. So for daily 1, as you can see, they pretty much used the same team, and then it started to deviate a tiny bit around the 13th and 14th place, a little bit there on the 20th. But yeah, so for the most part, they used Mene. Let's go look at first place real quick. So they basically used Mene, Edine, and Tonel. I doubt that they used Metamorphosis there. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe they have. Or maybe not, because for the most part, they just add in other characters there just to like confuse you and stuff. But in the case that Tonel does get defeated, it might be because her buff is enough for the 10 seconds. And so they utilized a second character in the front line so that when she is defeated, then they can use Metamorphosis to quickly buff. So in this case, I'm assuming the Metamorphosis is joining the squad with either the Rage buff or the Joy buff for that increased damage for Mene. And that's about it. In my case, I used this with Tonel up front. I gave them the 10% stat boost, but I couldn't get the... Well, I did get the high score anyway, but in terms of speed, I wasn't fast. Alright, so for daily 2, It's pretty much, you know, the same kind of deal with Tonel, Isabel, and Amurai. Now, they mostly used Dorin for the S2 buff before she gets defeated, and then she's replaced by Amurai for the buffs, I think. Then again, she isn't geared either, but I don't think she needed it. I don't know, man. These, you know, whales in their whale gear, you know, am I right? So for daily 3, as you can see, that's a day that I've missed, but as I've mentioned here, it's mainly a magic day. And of course, the predominantly used character would be Edine, a mix of Edine, Tonel, with a little bit of some tanks here, I think because the enemies here were dealing big damage. And then daily 4, again, it's an Isabel day because there's no physical resistance. Well, not much anyway. And then with the similar teams, this time they proceeded to use some Sir Civies. She's a limited character though, but they mainly use Sir Civi for the level 2 passive, which is a permanent 50% increase more damage taken by the enemy. And then they just used Dorin for the critical damage buff, I'm assuming. Well, attack and crit damage buff, which is huge. 40% is huge. Of course, level 5 skill. So, you know, as you guys have seen so far, the team comps are pretty straightforward anyway. If it's a magic day, it's mostly Edine and Tonel around that line, with a little bit of mix depending on what you require for that day. And then for physical days, it's mostly Isabel and Tonel, with a little bit of extra on the side, but mainly Amurai as the third character. So for daily 5 is pretty similar, but I think in this case they mainly used these 3 because Caledonia gives a good amount of protection, I think, but mainly probably for the unique equipment, because this one's not really skilled up, but they still did good. They still did good damage. I mean, this one doesn't even have the passive unlocked, which is pretty funny. And then yeah, so in my case, I did it a different way, hence I got a lower clear score. And then last but not least, today I did manage to get the max score. My time isn't really that quick. I don't know how I managed to get lucky here, but this is my comp, you know, it's the usual Dorin S2 sacrifice, and then replaced with Amurai to try and buff, but she gets defeated quickly anyway, so. But yeah, apologies if that took quite a while. With this, at least, you know, for the conclusion, in terms of the overall meta, I guess, quote-unquote meta in this game right now, I guess your top 3 most popular characters in Path Not Taken, and probably everywhere else, is Isabel, Edine, and Tonel. So just in case you guys are not sure who they are, this is Tonel, and then this is Isabel, and then this is Edine. So in any case, if you guys are new or you're missing some of these characters, then I would highly suggest saving up for them. Maybe not Tonel, because she is, I guess you could get her. I mean, the same goes for Isabel and Nadine, since they're all, you know, non-limited characters. But if you were to prioritize non-limited characters, then these 3 are the ones you should aim for. In any case, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it does seem like that the meta is pretty, you know, straightforward. You know, just have these characters and it's all done. Maybe things will change soon. But in any case, if you guys got any more questions regarding the game and stuff like that, please leave a comment down below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.